morning. Good morning and praise God. God is good and all the time. How many of you are happy to be here today? If you're excited about what God is doing in your life, in our lives, I want to ask you and request you that we honor God today by giving Him a shout of praise that is worthy of His name. Are we ready to do that? Are you ready to do that? Come on, at the count of 3, can we just give a shout of praise to God because God has been good to us. We're giving our praise to God because there are guys who went to school. We haven't seen them for so long and they're back on midterm. I'm seeing faces all around. We're giving a shout of praise because last week we were here, we left. We've been, using roads and trains and traveling up and about, but God has taken care of us. God has watched over every one of us. So let me ask again, are we ready to give a shout of praise to God this morning? Alright, at the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Our God, we honor you and we love you. There's no God like you. Talk about being loyal. You're the most loyal God ever. Talk about a God who never leaves when we are faithless. Talk about a God who knows the end from the beginning. Talk about a God who holds our world in His hands. You are that God. And this morning we give you praise, we give you honor, we invite you here. God, we ask you that you may speak to us as we listen to your word. And God, we invite you to our community. And I pray that if there is anything that is going to distract us from hearing your word, whether it's within us, whether it's around us, God, I pray that that thing, God, oh Father, may bow to your authority and that your word may penetrate every heart and every soul that is in this place today. We worship you. In Jesus' name we pray. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Life, though, has a way of taking all this greatness that we have in the service. Life has a way of making you feel, sometimes forget, that you have something new that is priceless and godly. Every once in a while, life allows you to enjoy, to succeed, and to be great. Every once in a while, life allows you to go out and make a huge business deal. Every once in a while you post something online and you wake up and you didn't even know, but you go and you're like, wow, 1,000 likes. Every once in a while you go out and you meet an amazing person and you start this amazing relationship with them. And everything goes on well. Life allows you some moments that are great. Sometimes you pass your exams and you go all the way through high school and primary school and you have amazing results. Life has a way of giving you access to greatness and to success. But this same life has a way of serving you some stillness. Until at some point you look at it and you're like, oh my God, can I stop living? Because that's how life is. It's only hedonists. I know that's a big word, but it's only hedonists. Hedonists are defined as people whose only motivation for life is fun. It's only hedonists who can live for the high and excitement of life every single day. And then on this other end, you have people called pessimists. You know, people who can't see anything positive in life. But then for the rest of us, we are caught in between great moments and some really cracked up, bad moments in life. That there is a pendulum. I don't know if you guys know this thing that we use in physics that is swung. It's swung from one end to the other. And sometimes you wake up and it's swung to the good side of life. Everything is smiling, the sun has risen, and then, everybody, you wake up. I don't know if you've ever experienced some days when you wake up, even the watch is like, hey, sasa baba, uko fiti lakini. And then there's some other days you wake up and you're like, nobody notices me. Even the cat in the house does not look up at you. And life is like that. Sometimes this oscillation is on this moment when things are thick, difficult, and bad. And sometimes this whole thing moves to this moment when everything is working and you're succeeding. You're doing videos, you're making business deals, people like you, your life is great, you're succeeding in school, in an amazing relationship, your boyfriend wakes up, the first thing he does is he calls you and he sings for you. He's like, oh, sure, fine. Those of us who don't sing, I don't know what we can do. We can send you videos. It takes bundles to send you a video. And then some other days you swing and things are thick, difficult, and bad. The danger for many of us is that sometimes when things are thick, we judge ourselves as if we were created as failures. And that sometimes when things are working, we forget that the reality of life is that there's another day when things are going to fall and crumble. The Bible tells an amazing story. The Bible tells the story of 3 guys, 4 guys actually. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel. The Bible tells the story of these 4 men and it says that these 4 men were handsome. You know, by the time the Bible says you're handsome, you really are handsome. First of all, because God speaks the truth. You know, me, I can tell you, like, hey, you're handsome, but I'm encouraging you so that you get to the next day. And when the Bible truly comes and says you're handsome, you truly must be handsome. And then the Bible says that they were good looking and that they were intelligent. But you know, this good looking, handsome, intelligent guys had life going for them. Everything was working for them. Life was working, like they were enjoying every single day of their lives until another country came and took their country, landed them into exile. When it landed them into exile, their names had to be changed. Can you imagine you have a name like Belteshazzar? Like, how do we even shorten it? Do we call you Belt? Or Shazar? Shazar is not even a name. Shazar is like an exclamation. Oh, Shazar, nimeshtuka. But their names were changed. They were taken into another culture, totally different culture. And the things that they were used to, the good things that they were used to were not there anymore. And they were gotten into this place, taken to the king's palace, and they were asked to start eating food that was defiled and wine that had been offered to idols. We know this story so well because in Daniel chapter 1 and verse 8, the Bible says that they chose not to defile themselves. And they decided that they were not going to eat this kind of food. Yeah, 4 guys. And then they go to their guy who's like their prefect. And he's like, you guys are going to eat this food. And then they look at the prefect and they're like, we are not going to eat this food. But then give us some time. And then observe and see how we are going to look. So the prefect agrees and says, it's fine, it's going to put my job on the line, but I'm going to trust you guys. And the Bible says that a few days later, when they were observed, they were looking better than all the other guys who were eating meat. Anybody eats meat here? I'm one of them. The Bible hasn't spoken to me yet. That was Daniel, that's all my life. Yeah? Sisi tushinde Burger King. Kama King David. Anyway, so forget about that. Yeah? So this guy observes them and he says, you know what, they are looking good. And they continue eating this food. And then another time comes. And the King Nebuchadnezzar comes up with this image, Daniel chapter 3. And he comes up with this big golden image. And then he gives a decree. He says, everybody has to bow down to this image. And then these guys are there again. Daniel is not in the picture at this moment. It's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they look at this thing and say, you know what? What are the consequences to the person who doesn't bow down to this image? And then the guys say they are going to be thrown into that furnace. And then these guys say, even though we are being thrown in that fiery furnace, we're not going to bow down and worship this thing. We are going to be okay. Fiery furnace. And even if God doesn't show up in the fiery furnace, it's still fine. And then they go, they're singing that song by Kanye West back in the day. You guys remember? Through the fire, through the... Serious throwback. Yeah? They refuse to bow down. And they are thrown into the fiery furnace. And the most amazing thing happens. The people who are going to throw them in the fiery furnace die because of heat stroke. Can you imagine how fiery is that fire? Like the guy who's carried you there dies before he gets there. And then these three guys walk in. And they're in the fire like you and I would be in the AC of our SGR until cool and alright. The Bible says that the only thing that was burnt were the things, the ropes that had been used to tie them down. Daniel chapter 3 verse 29 to 30. Let me read it for us so that we can close our service and make some closing remarks. Can someone read so that I bring Pastor David? Please come and read for us. Come on, give it up for Pastor David.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 29 to 30. Therefore, I make this decree. If any people, whatever their race or nation or language, speak a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they will be torn limb from limb, and their houses will be turned into heaps of rubble. There is no other God who can rescue like this. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions in the province of Babylon.
I love the way this story ends. And there's a reason why I chose to conclude with those verses. You know, in the good moments of life, sometimes you don't even notice that you need people around you. It is when you're going through the most difficult moments of life, when you need to make a decision, that you realize that you actually need people around you and for you. The Bible is amazing. The Bible in this story of Daniel and his friends shows you one thing. It shows you that in life, there are decisions that need support for you to be able to make them. It shows you that in life, it is a lonely journey if you're trying to make it in life alone. It tells you that there's something that people say, that if you want to travel fast, go alone. But if you really want to go far in life, go with others. There's a difference. It's amazing for us to come and celebrate all these people that we have in the service and call out their names and call out every one of us. If I pass this mic to every one of us, there's something that we'd say that we're really amazing at. But then I ask myself one question. What do you think is the one thing that if we did as a church, we'd really be the most outstanding church ever? The church that Jesus looks at from heaven and is like, that's my church. And he checks in and he's in the service. We can't even see him, but he's just here, two fingers in the sky. Kukinena kabitska kikamtu bazokizo. Hey Gabriel, where would you tonight? You know, and they're just there with the angels bazokizo. Because this is a great church. What is the one thing that if we did and did right, God would be pleased with us as a church? This church has hosted all the gospel artists that you probably want to talk about. Every one of them, maybe even before they became the great acts that they were, they sat where you're seated. This church has done some amazing things in this city before. But is it our hype that makes us a great church? Is it our worship that makes us a great church? We have an amazing worship team. I don't dispute that. Is it our preaching that makes us a great church? That one I'll tell you, blunt out. No. However, well, our pastors can preach, and Pastor David preached amazingly last week. Pastor Meruka preached the week before that, and he did an amazing job. But it's not even our preaching that makes us a great church. That the answer to what makes a great community or a great church is found in what Jesus said in the Bible, in the book, chapter 13 and verse 34. John chapter 13 and verse 34. This is what the Bible says. And the question we are asking ourselves is, how do we become a great and amazing church? What is it that would make a difference? Is it that if all of us are great, then maybe we know? Jesus said this. And Jesus was praying for his disciples and praying for the church before he went. These are the words that he prayed to God. And when he was asking, how my disciples and the people who follow me, how are they going to be noticed in the world? These are the words that he said. He didn't say that, you know what, my church will be an amazing church the day, like in the Kenyan music industry right now. There's a lot of talk, the gospel music industry is so much bigger than the secular music industry. Debate, 20 marks. But that's not even the thing that matters. The thing that matters is found in John chapter 13 and verse 34. So now, I'm giving you a new commandment. Love each other, just as I have loved you. You should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. I'm going to play a video, okay? I haven't asked for permission to play this video. I notice now that I need to ask for permission to play videos. Penny. But I want to play a video right now, okay? And it's a video from one of us, shot a couple of years or months back, maybe a year or a couple of months back. And we've been on this thing of, doing our young and fearless stories. And we came across this story. But there's something about this story that is almost sad. And I hope that you notice it. Check this video out.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and this is my young and fearless story. So I joined Mavuno 6 years ago when I just finished primary school. I was actually in class 8, just about to go to Form 1. I have not served in church till like 2 years ago. That's when I started serving. And since I started serving, I have made so many friends. My pastors know me. I connect with my pastors. I meet with them during the week. I have people to keep me accountable. I have people to pray with. And before that, no one knew me. As much as I've been here as long as so many people have, people knew me literally 2 years ago. And I've been here for 6 since we were in Bellevue, which was very sad. And I realized how much a big impact serving can make in your life. It made me more disciplined. It made me aware of myself. It made me learn my strengths and my weaknesses, because I have served in many different spaces and I know places where I'm good at and where I'm bad. Not really bad, but weak. Okay, I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. So welcome to church. Please come, serve and grow.
Natalie came to church. She's been in this church for 6 years. 4 out of 6 years, nobody knew her. Nobody knew who she was. She walked in, walked out for 4 years. Nobody talked to her. Until 2 years ago is when finally she found friends in this church. Natalie is an amazing person. She went to Alliance High School. She scored all A's. The way I don't even know how people score A's, but she scored all A's. She went to Strathmore. She's now in Strathmore. Natalie is now the person that heads our services teams here. But for 4 years, we'd have missed out on an amazing person who's a fantastic organizer and has a passion and love for God. For 4 years, we didn't even notice her. You and I included. Didn't notice her. If you came to this church less than 4 years ago, you're not guilty. You can go home feeling free. If you came here and you've been in this church for more than 4 years, please go home with a heart full of blackness and guilt. Because that is not right. Our love for one another. Next week, we stop preaching as your pastors. From next week, you become the sermons to one another. Because if we started this service by saying that every one of you is great, guess what? Every one of you has a message from God that can be shared to transform the life of the person seated next to them. And even if you didn't know how to preach, and you didn't have the courage to stand before people and preach, your life could be a sermon to the person seated next to you. But then as your pastors, we've realized that we've been making a huge mistake for the past 10 years. And it has dawned on us that we need to stop and rectify this mistake. And the mistake we've been making is this, that every single Sunday, we've made you consumers of a product. What do I mean? Every single Sunday you walk in, somebody stands here and gives you God's word, and you go back home. So as your pastors, we said, you know what? God has called us to be a community that loves one another. Love can never be demonstrated through walking in and walking out. Love is demonstrated when we get to sit down and listen and get to know every one of us, who we are, and the stories that form our lives. Love is demonstrated when you belong to a setting where if you miss service for 1 Sunday or 2 Sundays, somebody knows and somebody is able to call and find out what's going on. So that we can stop missing stories like the one that we did a few Sundays ago when I shared here. That there's someone in the service who lost their dad and we didn't even have a clue. Us guys are seated at Burger King, downing burgers and forgetting and even missing the fact that one of us probably needs us to be there for them on that day. We don't want to miss one another. We don't want to miss the moments of life that are happening to every one of us here. Last Friday I was so happy because I had a meeting with Saha, Sunday, and Shanice, our worship leaders here in church. And we're talking about many things and dreaming the way we want to do concerts up in the air and angels singing. Oh my goodness. We're dreaming. We're not high. Just in the spirit. But Howie and Sunday came to the meeting with bags. And I was like, it's a Friday evening. I knew for sure they were going for a sleepover. So I was like, oh, what's a sleepover? And do you know where these guys were going? They were going to help Leila prepare. For the whole night they were going, I think, to cook the food that she needed to serve to the people that were going to come to her event that I spoke about on Saturday. Now that is what it means to be there for one another. Being there for one another is such a small thing that can have a great impact on who we become. A few years ago, a small group of young guys had gathered together. And they're having just what is normal, Sunday conversation. How was your week? What's your high? What's your low? What are you looking forward to? And one guy in that group shared a story. I shared a dream. He said, my dream that I got this week is that I feel that gospel artists are completely unappreciated in this city. I feel like nobody knows what they do, nobody knows what they go through. And sometimes gospel artists go to churches and they stand at the front and they perform Ikibamba, you know, and then the DJ plays that thing for Ikibamba, sana wapi nduru, nduru. And then after that, the pastor comes and says, you guy, good job. And that guy probably has no money in his pocket. He has to walk from Athi River back to town where he came from. Because the pastor said, you need to bless, not to bless. Gave him nothing. And so this guy sat in that small group and said, I need us to get to a place where we can appreciate the talent that is there in our groups, in our gospel artists. And then the guys in the small groups asked him, what's your idea? And this guy said, you know what, I would love to create just an award ceremony for gospel artists. And then they told him, you know what, come with an idea next week. And next week the guy came with a paper, he'd drawn, he said, you know, we're going to hire KCC, and then we do this and do this. And this guy told him, you go, my friend, KCC for 1 hour is like 100,000 and I don't know what thousand. Can we start small? And then in this group they raised money. The little money that they had, they put the money together and said, you can start. The first year is sorted out, you go and start your dream. And they gave him whatever money they had. And the guy went out. And this same group of guys that were seated with him were his ushers and event producers running around on that day to make the event work. 15 years down the road, you and I can stand here and talk about Groove Awards. Because that's how Groove Awards started. It's when people who trust you, people who know you for who you are, can come alongside you and say, you know, we are going to stand with you. And it's when ordinary people who you go to church with every single Sunday, you know, that's why I started by saying you never know who you're seated next to. DJ Kev today is one of the richest, one of the most entrepreneurs. We have in our country today. DJ Kev, every time you see all this NASA and I don't know, Jubilee events, he's probably not sleeping because all the machinery that is used is his. But DJ Kev started by sitting down with a group of young guys and sharing his idea, and then they backed him up, and he's who he is today. So we're going to give each other a chance next week, next month, and through the rest of this year. Because if we really believe that the person seated next to you is amazing, then it's amazing that you and that person can get to share your stories and then just see what God can do with that story. If you believe that life is going to swing you some terrible and difficult moments, then you probably are seated next to your Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And as a church, we are apologizing because we have not given you a chance to stand in the fiery furnace and see Jesus with you. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not accompanied to the fiery furnace with a priest called a Nekoniko. There was nobody like that. It was just Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But they had been informed of their faith and they knew that God will come through for them in the fire. And when the fire was too hot, guess who stood in the fire with them? Jesus. Jesus is the only pastor that you need. He's the only pastor that you need. And so from next Sunday, if you come here and there's no sermon, imagine it's great. From next Sunday, if you come here and Pastor Frank or Pastor David doesn't stand here and say amazing things, it's okay. Because your fiery furnace is coming. And the people that you need are probably seated next to you. Let us pray.